take off. I'm driving back from. I just went on this massive hike with my son. We went up Santa Ana Creek, which is this beautiful creek that goes up from Lake Casitas. Oh, there's the intro music. Well, hello.
Welcome to Take Two Radio.
Yeah.
We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to Take Two Radio Soaps and Review. I'm David, your host, and joining me tonight are my co-hosts, CAROLYN, Candice, and Anthony, and Casey is running late. Tonight, we are very pleased to have with us actor, producer, outdoorsman, and grill master, Nathin Butler. Welcome, Nathan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for calling. Too bad we couldn't have you here grilling with us.
Oh, that would be awesome. I was actually just grilling up on this peak here. I went up to this creek with my son today, and we were grilling some lamb and fresh organic sausages, chicken sausages, and this beautiful hike up this creek. And yeah, I'm just driving back now, and Jetson, he's asleep in the back here, and headed back to LA, headed back to the real world.
Bet you wish you could have stayed up there a little longer.
Oh, man, I wish I could live up there. Jetson's like, Dad, can we come back here every week? I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, tonight we're here to grill you, so to speak.
Oh, that's good. Let's go. I'm ready.
So are you a hitman?
I'm well seasoned. Oh, what?
Oh,
that's you are, my friend. Juicy and delicious.
So I'm going to start you off with a couple questions from my supervisor, Pam, who I'm filling in for tonight and couldn't be with us. So
okay.
She answered it says, you were a producer for Along the Bad Edge Sitting. Was that your first time producing, and would you like to do more of that?
That was, I guess that was my first time producing something like on a professional level. I guess I wrote and directed a short back in drama school, but this is the first time doing it, in LA, and I think it is something that I'm looking forward to doing more of. We're actually a production company right now. We're working on a handful of things. We've got a kids TV show, an animated series. We've also got a couple of like an adult film, a sports combat movie, and then I'm also I'm actually working on making the first Australian Western TV series, and I'm super excited about that. You know, I don't know, maybe some of you might have knew this about me, but I grew up on a cattle ranch. We call them cattle properties in Australia, and my father, he was kind of the last of the Australian bushmen. The last generation of Australian bushmen, and he was a bit of an outlaw. He was a bit of a fighter and a gambler and a lover, and so anyway, I'm working on making that show, and it's going to be, kind of an Australian version of like Deadwood meets, Justified, a bit like that. I'm super excited about that, and I'm writing it right now with a couple of writing partners, and it's going to be out there soon enough. I'm thinking about doing a podcast of it first, like a narrative podcast,
Nice.
just to kind of gain some exposure and get some people listening, and then man, then we're going to shoot it in Australia out there on all my family's cattle property. It's going to be great.
Giddy up,
that all sounds so good. So, my second question, it says, we know you are a talented musician and singer, so if you were to write a song commemorating your life, what would you call it?
I would call it, I don't know. It'd be something along the lines of, you know, you can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy, you know? or man, you know, something like that, I'd say. But,
and that could have double meaning.
I'm open to suggestions.
That sounds good. Okay, I got two more for you, and then I'm going to pass it on to Anthony, okay?
Okay.
In your latest short film, what do you see as the underlying theme?
In the short film, the message, the moral, the underlying theme of Along the Bed's Edge sitting is, you know, it's really a coming of age story. It's about, you know, a young star athlete who's has to figure out, you know, whether he's going to take the route of his basketball career or family, and he chooses family. You know, the movie's really about kind of the hardships people have, you know, and like how tough life can be, yet you can still enjoy it, you know, even if you are struggling and even if you don't have much, you can still enjoy it. I think that's the message, and you know, there's also a little bit of kind of drug abuse that's in that film, which is a good message to send out to the kids that, you know, might be thinking about doing that kind of stuff. You can just see what really happens when you do. And yeah, just again back to the, you know, you don't need much to be happy. You know, life isn't about you know what the clothes you wear on your back. It's about the people and your friends and family and the love and stuff you share, you know, with those around you. So yeah,
that says it all together. That does. So, my final question, it says, what was it like to be working in the Marvel Universe alongside Clark Gregg and the rest of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was fun. I was only a day player. I had a co-star role. Got in there and had some fun. That was a interesting episode. You know, we were in space, and that was cool to do some cool special effects where I was like flying. I was up flying in zero gravity, and then you know, they had me on these harness things, and then when they shut the zero gravity thing off, we kind of slammed to the ground, and that was cool. You know, it was like a cool little, I guess you'd call it like a Matrix moment where they had the camera pan around you and it was in slow motion, and that was cool. It was fun to be a part of that and to meet some of the cast members and, you know, the producers and director, and yeah, it was fun. I had a fun time.
Would you go back?
Cool. I'd love to go back. Yeah, I mean, I had such a small role that I don't think it'd matter. I could go back and play anything else, and you wouldn't really have noticed that I was there. But it was cool, man. I'm looking forward to getting on something like that. You know, I think I think it's not too far away. You know, I'm on the cusp of it. I can feel it. You know?
Well, I'm hoping for you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony.
Well, make no mistake, Nathan. We'd noticed, and we did notice you were there, but we'd definitely love to see you in another role there.
That's cool.
So,
thanks, Anthony.
I've got 3 for you before we turn it over to Candice. My first is sort of general. We always like to ask for the fans that are listening right now, you know, how did you get into acting? What were your first couple of experiences? And give us a little bio on how Nathan got into this business.
Yeah, for sure. So how I got into acting was back in high school. I was in year 11 or grade 11, whatever you call it here, and my little sister, Chloe, she was 2 years younger than me. So she was in like grade 9 at the time. She wanted to audition for the high school musical, and they were doing Bertolt Brecht, the Symphony Opera, which is a pretty obscure out there musical, but and it was also a wonderful musical. But yeah, so she wanted to audition for that, and at the time I was like, man, I was playing rugby, like football, I was playing basketball, and I wasn't really into acting or performing arts at that point. I wasn't popular at school, but I was good. Like I was good at sport, and I had a group of friends, and pretty alpha kind of group of friends. And when she said that, I was like, oh man, I don't know. That's kind of, I don't want to be teased and like looked at by my friends as being like, a sissy or like gay or like, what? That's kind of where I grew up. Very, I don't want to say redneck, but it was almost like that. It was very country. People who walk around wearing cowboy hats and singing, George Strait and Garth Brooks. And so, that was not really accepted. But, I was, at a young age, I was singing and performing with my mom, because my mom was a country music singer and still is. And so, she had us on stage singing with her and performing, and so always I could sing, and I would play guitars and do that at home with my sisters and my mom. But when I got older, I just never did it anymore because it was, it wasn't considered to be that cool. So, but anyway, my little sister, she really twisted my arm. She really wanted me to sing this duet with her. So I ended up saying, okay, I'll do it, but I'm not going to do, I'm just going to do the audition with you. And so we performed A Whole New World from Aladdin for the audition, and the drama teacher and director, they really loved it, because we're brother and sister. I think our harmonies sounded really nice, and it was really good, And then, so we finished it, and then the director was like, so we'll let you know tomorrow what we're going to do, after all the auditions are done. It's said and done, and the next day, the director approached me and said, hey, we want you to be the lead in the musical. We want you to play Mac the Knife, who's the lead in the Symphony Opera. And my sister, they want my sister to play like a chorus role. And I was like, hell no! I was like, no way. And the drama teacher, so I said no, and the drama teacher, she kept chasing me down. She kept kind of harassing me. It took her about 2 weeks to convince me to just come to one rehearsal, and if you don't like it, you can not do it. But she said, there's just no one else who could play this guy at our school at that time, who has the vocal range and the acting ability. At this point, I hadn't done any acting. I didn't even know what it was. And, I was only 16. So, anyway, I went to one rehearsal, and then I was like, what? This is fun. I'm like, this isn't gay at all. There's, hot chicks. There's, this is cool. I'm like, I can totally dig this. So, and that was it, and I did the Symphony Opera, and then I did a kind of bunch of other musicals, in the town that I was at, after I finished high school, and then my drama teacher, he helped me audition and get into the prestigious drama school down in Sydney called NIDA, the National Institute of Dramatic Art, and so I got in there, and then that was it, my kind of career path, and my life was kind of made up for me that I was going to be an actor and performer, and and that was it, and then we jump ahead, like, whatever it is now, what was that, 2005, 13, 14 years later, and I'm in LA, and yeah, man, I wouldn't have changed it for the world, I love it.
Oh, it's a beautiful way to feel, I guess. Nathin Butler fans can send your mom, your sister, and that drama teacher letters of thanks.
Yeah.
I want to go to the film for a second and ask. Sitting is rather gritty. It's very emotionally raw. How did you prepare yourself for the drug addiction, the heartbreak? Can you give us a little insight into your process going into a role like that, into a movie like that, I should say?
Yeah, I think the short film, what was my process? Just trying to remember. Man, we shot that so long ago now. It's so crazy how long these things take to make. That was the process along the bed's edge was, we rehearsed a lot. I think rehearsal is key when, if you want to get a good performance out of an actor. I think rehearsal is super important. I think you can rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. It just doesn't hurt. You always find new things. And my character wasn't having a drug issue, but my partner, my wife was. But, dealing with that, I guess you can draw from personal life experience, and I have had some of that in my life. I was addicted to drugs at one point in my life, and that was a pretty it was a fun time, but it was also a really sad time for me. My dad had passed away from cancer, from bowel cancer, and I just kind of I went off the rails a little bit, and now I'm like, and that's such an amazing thing to do. I think for anyone is to be sober. It's such a, for me anyway, personally, it's such a life is so beautiful, and there's so much more color and magic in the world. I think being sober, and that's maybe not for everyone, but definitely for me.
Yeah.
And so that I could definitely draw from that, from life experiences when you play heavy characters like that, and seeing my partner in that show, in that film, seeing her dealing with those issues, I could definitely relate to it, and then also I had a child in that film, and I have 2 children myself, so from that, and you can see the chemistry when you watch that film. Me and my daughter. It's not my daughter, but it was my friend's daughter actually, Mark and Stacey Blackwell's, their daughter Zoe, who's a wonderful little actress, and she did a great job. And you can see that we had a really good friendship and chemistry because we are good friends as well. Off the screen, but like fun little movie, and looking forward to playing some more interesting characters, definitely, that was a good one. That was fun.
My last question before I turn it over to Candice is a 2-part. Obviously, we're Soaps and Review, so can you tell us a little bit about your time on General Hospital, and if you could bring any of your General Hospital co-stars to your Outback project, who would you bring?
That's a good question. So a little bit of my my history on General Hospital, and then you asked if I'd bring any co-stars on from GH. You know what? You know, because the Western, the Aussie Western will be Australian. You know, everyone will have Australian accents. You know who did a great Aussie accent in GH was Nathin Butler. He had a fantastic Aussie accent. I was really, really impressed. You know, because the Australian accent is not that easy. You know, often people, when they try it, like often when Americans try it, they go sometimes more British or South African. But some people are real, you know, some Americans are really good at it. But Nathin was really good at it. And then, of course, there's been so many Aussies that have gone through General Hospital too, you know, like Ingo and many more, you know. When we're ready and we get to the casting, the casting stage, I'd be happy to send those guys the script and see if it's something they're interested in, and have them read for some of the roles if they're interested in the project. But the first question, my experience and some of the history of General Hospital. So I guess I started out at Shady Brook, and we had tailored this really awesome story with Dr. Ewan Keenan. We had this really interesting story where he was the psychiatrist, but eventually we were going to move him into the fact that he was actually a patient, and you just thought he was the psychiatrist, and it was kind of like a play on Shutter Island, that Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I don't know if you remember, but they were playing along with the fact that he was the doctor, but he was really the patient on the island. So it was kind of really clever, and then it never really comes to fruition because the bosses changed hands. When I got my job, it was her name Jill was the executive producer.
Yep.
She was the exec, lovely woman, and who gave me my job and my first big role in the States, and so Frank Valentini came in after her, and of course when he came on, he was like, there was a few new cast members, and he was like, who are you? What are you doing here? And so he really didn't have a place for me to stay in there when he was bringing on his own actors from One Life to Live, which was totally understandable. And he didn't really have a place or a storyline for me anymore. So instead of getting rid of me straight away, he thought he'd have some fun, and we, with the writers and stuff too, and we turned, Ewan into an evil character. He became an antagonist and a villain, and we kind of went that way, and so I got to have some fun. I got to have some fun being, the good doctor and helping people with their problems, and then having to deal with all my own issues and getting a little bit dark at the end. Dealing with it was fun working with everyone was fantastic. Maurice and Becky, and I mean everyone was so cool. Sebastian Roche, at the end doing that stuff with him. Kelly Sullivan. I mean everyone was. I had such a good time. It's such a great family family show, and everyone's really welcoming. And, man, Brandon Barash and all those boys, everyone, the whole team was fantastic. I only have good things to say about working on that show, I'm excited that they're still shooting it, and maybe one day they'll have me back on. If they did, I would definitely entertain the idea of coming back onto the show. So that's my GH spiel.
I think our listeners love to hear that, and personally, the scenes with Sebastian, with Jerry, phenomenal. Just kudos. And I'm going to turn it over to Candice. Candy girl?
Yes, I'm here. Hey, Nathan.
Hi.
Hey. So, real quick, I just want to say that I would be happy to see you back on General Hospital because I was one of the people who was like, oh, he needs to come back. It's been a while. He needs to shake it up in Port Charles and have some fun. We need you to come back. So I'm starting a campaign, get him back to General Hospital. It was just, I can totally see a storyline. I see it now.
Yeah.
So, and
yes.
And they can tell you, I always come up with like creative storylines that to the point that they were like, how come you're not writing for a soap? So, yeah, I can totally see it. It would be a big story arc of a breakout. Okay, we can't get into it right now. We gotta leave it to some people's imagination, but but I do hope that you do return to General Hospital. So that's what I'm gonna say. Alrighty. So I have 2 questions for you. I call these the deep thinking questions because you have to really think with the answers. Okay. All right. If you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what advice would you give your younger self?
Good question.
It is a good question. Thanks, Candice. If I could go back in time, give my younger self some advice, what would it be?
You can pick any age. You can pick any age, too.
Take any age and go back in time, what would advice be? I don't know. That's a great question. Like I kind of just want to say, dude, like, don't worry about it, man. You're gonna be fine. You got this. You got this.
That is the best.
But I don't know. There's some things that. There's always things in your life that you might have wanted to do differently, But then, like negative things or whatever, and I'm just talking all the partying and, drugs I did and drinking I did. But then, like, if you don't do them, then you didn't do it, and you don't experience it and, like, you got nothing to, like, grow from. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, I would probably just say, Candice, that, I would just say, you know what, man, just do it. Whatever you're going to do, just do it, Don't second-guess yourself. Just go for it, man. Life's too short to second-guess yourself, You just got to go for it. Go hard or go home. That'll be my advice.
Bingo. I like that answer. I love that answer. Okay.
My dad used to say this, actually. He used to say, if you can't be good at it.
That is, what? That might actually be my new slogan.
My dad.
Slogans. I don't know if anybody does this, like write like quotes and just hang them up around. So every morning when you wake up, you look at it, and it's kind of like your quote of the day or the quote of the month or the week, and you kind of go and try to kind of figure out what does that mean in your life. Like how does that that quote place in your life? So I love that. I love that advice. I love it.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah. So you're not done yet. I got another thinking question for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. If you could play any iconic role, whether it's from television, theater, movies, or just anything, what role would you play and why?
An iconic role.
Mm-hmm.
What role would I play
and why? Mm-hmm.
Iconic role. What role would I play and why? One of my favorite movies is Gladiator. And, Ridley Scott's, dude, I would love to play Gladiator, for sure, Or even, what was Joaquin Phoenix's role? Was he like Caesar? Or,
Wait. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. Now I'm going to have to say it again.
Yeah, it was he Caesar? It was like
He was
anyway.
Caesar.
It was like his character was
Caesar.
like kind of based on Julius Caesar, based roughly. But yeah, either him, I'd play the antagonist or the protagonist. I don't know. That would be that'd be a killer role to play. Into playing the villain roles. I played a villain on Hawaii 5-0 recently, and man, that was fun. So the villain roles are fun. You get to really dig in deep and do some cool stuff. But yeah, really, I really just like telling stories. Candice, and that's what it's about for me. I like telling good stories. Any script I get, I'm gonna read it, and if it speaks to me, and if I like the story and like what the moral and what they're trying to tell, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna attach myself and do the best I can to serve the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
That was some good.
Hey, David, did we get Candice wrong?
What?
Did we get CAROLYN?
No, Casey didn't make it. CAROLYN?
Hello.
Hi, CAROLYN.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Candice kind of asked one of the questions that I had in mind, but I'll I'll try and work around it. What about Shakespeare?
Shakespeare, yeah. Shakespeare's great. Just like play Hamlet or Macbeth or, yeah, Shakespeare's fun. What did I play? I think I played Lysander in Midsummer Night's Dream when I was in drama school. One of the star-crossed lovers, and that was pretty fun.
Well, the energy is coming across. You've got so much energy. I cannot believe all the things that you can do. And I can see you on the stage doing Shakespeare.
Oh, you can?
Yes, I can. And my next question: do you watch any of the other soap operas?
You know what? To be honest, I really don't. I don't watch them. When I first got introduced to General Hospital, I actually had never seen the show before. And so, I was new to it, and I started then. I then started watching it, and I really enjoyed it. And I think, I don't know, for me, I feel like if I got a role in something, I would definitely do a lot of research and watch them. But for me, there wasn't really any reason for me to watch them. But, I respect them, and, some of the actors I really appreciate and respect, and, I think they do amazing work on there for what they have to do, like having done the show now, and, how much, man, it's crazy, like how much dialogue you have to learn, and just how fast that is. It's it's crazy. It's like acting. It's like an actor's. It's a test. It's a good test of an actor's ability, to sink or swim. You just gotta go, Like, so I have a lot of respect.
Well, in my question, I was going to say there's a few villain roles coming up in some of the other soap operas, and I just wondered if you if they did call you from another soap opera, if there was a role that you could really sink your teeth into.
I haven't got the call up yet I haven't got the call up yet. So Yeah, let's put it out there. I'm ready.
Okay,
Hashtag Nathin Butler.
Okay, we're ready.
Hashtag Nathin Butler. He's ready to go.
Now, what do
Hey,
you
Nathan.
prefer? Do you prefer the shaved head or all the hair?
Oh,
No, it's
do I
sexy either
prefer?
way.
Do I prefer the shaved head or all the hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think it. I think it depends. You know, it depends. It depends on the role. I think, right?
Okay.
It depends on the role. You know, if I'm playing a villain, you know, the shaved head's kind of cool. Kind of a cool look. Yeah, or even vice versa. I mean, it just depends on the character, you know. But yeah, I like having hair, even though I'm starting to get a little thin on top and grey on the sides. Such is life, c'est la vie, you know.
Maturity. So Nathan.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, and you want to tell us your latest projects and where we can find you on social media?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, man. So my latest projects are what we were talking about. Hawaii Five-0. You can catch me on an episode of that recently, and you know, I was really, you know, I played an antagonist, I played a villain, and yeah, it was a fun show, man. It was such a great experience to be out in Hawaii and working with those guys. You know, Alex O'Loughlin is an Australian guy and a friend of mine, and such a beautiful man and a great actor. And you know, working with those guys was fun. And yeah, I was really proud of my work on that show. You know, I think I played a pretty good badass. It was cool. It was a fun role. And, yeah, you should check it out. And then a short that I shot, that I produced and starred in, Along the Bed's Edge, which you can get on Amazon. But actually, I'm going to put that out on my Instagram account soon. I think I'm going to put it out on the IGTV, so you can catch it on there for free. Yeah, so that's it. You know, you can find me on my socials. It's just my name, Nathin with an I, Butler, and that's my Instagram and Twitter. You can catch me on there. I'm also going to post this podcast on my IGTV, so you can catch that. You can catch this on the Instagrams, and yeah, that's it. Thanks so much, everyone, for having me on.
Well,
we can
thank
do it
you
again.
for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, come back when you have the Cowboy Down Under project underway.
Yeah, I will. I'll come back when I get my podcast up, and I'll let you guys know about that. It's going to be a narrative podcast, you know, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Then keep that Twitter feed going on Ask Nathan.
Oh, you like that? You like that?
Yeah,
yes, I do.
That.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we'll keep live tweeting. We'll keep doing that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And bring your boy back up next week for a little bit more nature and grilling.
Yeah.
I will.
Have a good night, Nathan. Thank you for joining us.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Adios, sir. Nice chatting with you.
All right, you take it easy.
All right, peace. Take care, guys. Bye.
Take care. Take care.
Well, like always, that was a very fun chat.
Oh,
I think we get the best out of our guests. We catch them off guard, and they get to reveal pieces of themselves they don't get in the standard soap interviews.
That's true. I think he enjoyed that.
He was thinking on his feet. Oh my goodness, the energy. I don't know about you guys, but the energy that was coming through. He's a dynamo.
And brutally honest, between, not wanting to audition with his sister for the reasons he gave, and for the partying that he spoke about in his own life and how he brought that to his short film, we get brutally honest on this show, and that's something that I've heard in the feedback. And so here's another awesome interview to add to the decks.
There you go.
And I guess it's time for us to go from happy to a somber note.
Somber note. We're going to start off with Y&R tonight.
We're going to start off
Candice,
with
are you ready?
Restless.
No.
Candice.
Okay, I'm going to do this because I've been... okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can. If anybody who follows me on Periscope knows I can't, but... So, oh, gosh. Okay, so, let me get myself professional here. Professional.
Okay.
Oh, who am I kidding?
Hey, can I just start off? Can I start you guys off just a little bit?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say Josh is coming through loud and clear.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to bite my tongue. I'm going to say this. I promised myself that I would give Josh at least till November 13th. And the reason that I picked that date, I know everybody's like, really? You picked a date? Is because we forget that, we're in May sweeps right now. This is actually May sweeps. And then we have the summer, and then we have fall. And those are the big time moments for a writer to showcase what he really can do. You got to figure that he's cleaning up what Mal Young and even Sally did for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to resort the show so it can kind of have that same flow as it did before. There's some things that are working, and then there's little things that are still a little puzzling. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the summer because, as we all know, next month is a big month for Young and the Restless fans because a certain somebody is, quote-unquote, returning back from the dead and coming home to the GC, and I'm talking about Adam Newman. With Josh Griffin, I think he is going to he's working to prove that he can really write for a soap opera and kind of show that for all those, and not just Young and the Restless fans, but from his other shows that he did, Days, and whatnot, that he can actually go through a process and make it must-see TV. Sorry, NBC, I'm going to steal that quote. Has he been doing it lately? There is some good moments. There has been. But, I'm still going to hold my, the verdict until November 13th, 2019.
Okay.
Obviously what we're seeing this week, that was his first big story. This is his big task of how do you handle a real-life situation on a soap.
All right.
So I guess can
I jump in?
Go into that? Go ahead.
Before we actually go into this week, I want to agree and disagree with you on the same points. I absolutely am not going to make a full judgment until November sweeps. Where I disagree with you is that there's, without a doubt in my mind, with inside information that has been passed along to other outlets, and I also heard a few things myself, without a doubt in my mind, they basically tasked him with get back our core audience, fix a few mistakes that were made, period, point blank. Don't worry about anything else until you get back our core. And in that right there, I'm going to say that he absolutely has done it. He absolutely has started the process. Let me rephrase that. He hasn't done it. He started the process. So in that alone, kudos, congratulations. The characters feel back to who they really were. The last 2 years or so, we kind of were looking at certain characters saying, wait a minute, who is this person? This is not such and such and such, with a big glaring exception being Sharon. Sharon, Mal wrote for wonderfully. You know, he definitely brought her back to where she needed to be. But there are a bunch of other characters on canvas. We were like, who the blank, blank, blank is this? And Josh has definitely brought back the character feel to a bunch of characters on canvas. And I hesitate to say I wonder how different it'll be in a few weeks when a key role is recast with an original cast. I think that's going to be a huge test as well to the show itself and to Josh, because to write for that is a task in itself. That's a character to write for is a task in itself. So I agree with you 100%. The only thing I want to say to the listeners out there is, doesn't it feel like you're coming back to Genoa City after a dream? Doesn't it feel like Genoa City is kind of coming back to what it was and what it should be?
Yes.
And before we get into this week, David, what do you think? Yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
what I feel?
Yeah.
What do I feel? I feel a sense of steadiness. I feel like it's not so wavy on the waters. I know where I'm going. All those little things. I mean, I know my show again. I miss it, and I'm glad it's coming back.
All right. Now, Candice mentioned something, and I put a pin to hold off on it, and I think we definitely need to jump in it right now. This week was most definitely a test for the core, and I am just beginning to consider myself a core Young and the Restless fan. I've been around for about 7 years now, and I truly feel with being on this show with you guys, I've become a core Young and the Restless fan because of you guys. My personal opinion, I'm just going to state this. Josh, you knocked it out of the park. You let them take their emotions and pour them, not just show them. You let them pour them out through our screens and into literally tearing at our hearts and ripping the tears out of our tear ducts. That's how I feel. I think there are a few minor beats that could have been tweaked a little bit. There are a couple of things that could have been mentioned, but other than that, and not even other than that, that's just there's not enough time in 4 hours worth of television to tell this big of a story and please everyone. Across the board, from what I have seen so far, I am thoroughly, thoroughly impressed with the writing, with the acting, with how much they held back as much as how much they gave us. I'm just so thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly impressed. I feel like those courtroom scenes a couple of weeks ago. I feel like this is the Genoa City that I first came to know and that I learned about when I went back to look at storylines like Chase, Tracy, and Brad, storylines like Colleen's death, storylines like Delia's death. When I went back and did research and started, this Genoa City feels like the Genoa City that I once knew. Candice, baby, take it away.
First and foremost, kudos to everybody over at CBS Daytime. I know I get a lot of grief saying, Candice works for CBS, but if I did, I would be proud to have been working because everybody over there is – okay, let me just backtrack. There's a reason why this genre is still alive. It's because of people like Christophe St. John, who's been in the game on it would have been 28 years for Young and the Restless. But the others who have come before the newbies, as I like to call it, who kind of paved the way for us to get these couples, these characters, and storylines. I remember watching with my great-grandmother, Miss Emily, at 12:35, and I remember this, and she was like, oh, my God, that's the boy from Generation. He's on My Story. Talking about when Christoph came on Young and the Restless. And I didn't understand what the big hoopla was. I didn't get it. But I've grown with him. Like Neil Winters, Christoph St. John, we all grew up together. And it's one thing when a soap character dies, but when the actor who portrayed the character also dies, and they have to do a storyline around it or just whatnot, it tugs at your heart because you start to realize how much of an impact this character made as well as the actor. And we're obviously seeing both sides of it. Crystal Khalil, I need to give a shout out to her because I know she's not on it as much, and we all know, this time around, it was her decision to, go and leave, be recurring and whatnot. But it's when she had that moment this week where she blamed herself, when Lily blamed herself for what happened to Neil. Apparently, what they're saying is Neil had a silent stroke.
Yeah.
Real quick, public service announcement. Everybody, to all of our listeners out there and whatnot, I want you to go and get a regular checkup because you could be healthy. And I said this before: if you could be healthy as a freaking horse, you could be lifting weights, you can be like posing and stuff. It only takes one little thing in your health that can cause you some kind of pain or even death. So please go and get a regular checkup. Check your blood pressure. Check your heart. Check your lungs, check your eyesight, check everything because you never know. And also always tell people that you love them. Don't wait till the last minute. Always tell them that you love them and that you care for them. Okay, because that's what this storyline has been about. So you have Lily, you have Devon blaming each other. I love the fact that they honored the history of this character because outside of Lily and Devon, who else has Neil touched? Jack and Victor.
Yep.
And, you can say one thing about Neil Winters is that he was one of the few characters on Young and the Restless that could bridge the respect gap between Catherine, Jack and John, and Victor.
Yep.
There was no tension. And he did. And there was no tension. I mean, they had moments, but they all respected this man. And he vice versa. Young and the Restless, I don't even think there was a script, to be honest. I just think they went on raw emotions because, from my understanding, they did 3 episodes in one day, which, can you imagine? Like, you're coming back.
They had to.
And, right. Yeah. And, I mean, you can tell. Kudos to Shamar Moore. Look, we all know he never forget his roots. And you knew as soon as this was going to come out, you knew that he was going to be there. Kudos to them getting Angela Cornwall and Julie Mitchell, who played Sophie and Leslie. I mean, some people probably forgot about them. I'm just saying. But to know that that's how good this storyline, because funerals brings people from out of nowhere. And weddings.
Yeah.
It's just
Christian.
I wasn't prepared for Christian. I mean, I wasn't prepared for any of this week. I mean, I knew that I had to say goodbye. And, usually it's the soul funerals, da-da-da-da. But because of what happened in real life, it was 10 times hard to watch. It was 10 times hard for, what was it, yesterday with the CGI of Christoph St. John when Devon was talking to him. I wasn't anticipating that. And I literally bawled. I'm sorry, I bawled like nobody's business.
Yes, so did I.
It's one thing because you know how tight these cast members are to each other. So in that moment, especially when I saw that, because I wasn't prepared for that. I was prepared for the mid bumpers, showing Christoph St. John. But when I saw him, and then I started, as a fan, we have flashbacks, right, of characters, right, those moments. And I'm going back to, him and Drusilla's wedding, when he held Lily. Like, I'm doing my own timeline, my own memorial, of remembering him. Look, whether you are, I know people, check this out, I know people who hadn't watched Young and the Restless in years that are tuning in this week to pay respect. And not only that, I know people who watch the other soaps, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, Bold, who are tuning in to watch. And it's nice to see the community, the soap opera community, how rough it is out there. They come to, everybody has come together. People from other shows and other writers are saying, tune in, pay homage to Michelle Van Gene. Everybody.
And it's all
nice.
over Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's
on
the thing.
people.
Here's the thing. This was not an anniversary episode. And it's at if this had been 5 years ago, they might have told this story differently. But The Young and the Restless is at such a pivotal moment in the fact that it didn't quite turn off its core group, but it definitely disappointed its core group to the core. So they had a very, very, very hard job of coming up with a way of telling this that would respect the character, that would play into a story that can be brought forward beyond this, because to give him a send-off and it just disappear and fade into the black would have been a disrespect in itself. So to have Lily and Brighton Devon, telling that part of the story, knowing that this is the ripple effect. Neil is going to be around for quite some time, and not like, hey, he's here, let's celebrate that he was here. Okay, he's gone, goodbye. They had to make sure that they hit all the beats. And I think after Melody's anniversary episode, they really had the buzz in the soap opera fan community. Like, okay, they do know how to tell a one-off special episode. So if they didn't bring, it would have been disaster. So they had to take this into 4 days, into storyline that was going to ripple forward, and quite frankly, Christoph himself deserves nothing better than his name to be his character name to be. We still talk about Catherine. Neil needs to be a character that we're still talking about on and off in 5 years. And thank you, writers, that you recognized, understood, and gave us the springboard for that.
And like I said, I gotta real quick, David. I still give kudos to not only Young and Restless but CBS, because I don't want to bash anything because I'm not about that, but this is why we always say that these networks, these soaps, need to pay homage to the vets while they're still around. Because, with Christoph, and the community itself, you have people from General Hospital who said Christoph helped them with their auditions. But Vanessa Antoine said it, when she was auditioning for Jordan, Christoph helped him. Jacob Young, these are people that we watch on other soaps. And when they talk about Christoph St. John, it's like, well, this was a man. He was there for everybody. And just like with Neil, he was there for everyone. And, spoiler alert, be prepared to cry.
He was cool. He was cool. He was a cool guy.
He was such a sweetheart. Oh, my gosh.
He was the glue. He was the glue that kind of, he always had that peaceful demeanor, and he brought people together. And I think his age, it's been a shocker in the age. And Catherine was, we knew she was failing. It was expected, but this was not expected. This was a shocker.
David, before you go, I want to throw a public service announcement out there for myself. Check yourself, the way Candice said, but also check your community, mental health wise. If you see something say something. And I'm not talking about a package left on the bus or at the bus stop. I'm talking about in your neighborhood, in your family, in your job. If you see someone struggling, say something. Even if it's just, hey, I'm here. You don't have to say, I see you're struggling. You don't have to recognize that they look a little tired around the eyes or they dragging the booty a little too hard. Just, hey, I'm here. And a smile goes 1,000 miles. And if anyone knew how to work a smile and gave a smile at every moment he possibly could, it was Christophe St. John. That was $1 million smile. Yep. And everyone who said something about him has said his smile was infectious. If you see something, say something. Check in with your loved ones, with your community.
And that's one of the side effects of his health issue. He probably didn't feel well, but didn't know why he didn't feel well, and it sets in. You get very frustrated with underlying symptoms. Mm-hmm. They were there.
David, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna collect all yours and say, don't be afraid to be good to people.
Yeah.
A little goes a long way.
Yeah. A hug, a smile. How are you today? It goes a long way.
For the listeners that are listening live right now, the talk is doing a full hour devoted to Christophe tomorrow. Check your local listings for what time it actually plays in your area. And on Monday, there is in the hour time slot of The Young and the Restless. It's an actual memory tribute show to him, as well as final thoughts from the actors that were working with him. I don't know what that means, but I'm kind of interested to see what. I guess it's a personal. They're giving them time to say a personal farewell, which is really sweet.
It's the same thing they gave to Jeannie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen the promo, because they showed the promo, and I mean, real quick again, CBS, Sony, thank you for saying to Victoria Raoul and Michelle Morgan to come on this tribute, because I'm pretty sure fans would have been a little up in arms if you didn't, and vice versa to the ladies, because this is we're honoring Christophe. We're honoring, obviously we're revving up the Neil stuff, but now we're going to honor Christophe, and he would want this. I can actually, somebody said this. Can you imagine Christophe looking at everybody and saying, "Y'all doing this for me"? Just laughing a little bit, So he was a sweet guy.
Christophe would have grinned and did that whole "aw shucks, y'all," and played it off. Not for me. "Aw shucks, y'all, come on." Yeah.
Yeah. He will definitely be missed, and Neil too. Neil wants it. Neil. Woo! Woo!
Well,
and you got to think they're probably going to do something at the Emmys. They're probably going to do something at the daytime Emmys for them.
There was something mentioned on Michael Fairman's podcast when the Emmy reels, when the Emmy nominations were announced, that they are planning something for Christophe on the telecast, on the netcast, whatever you call it, because it's not on television. Yeah.
The webcast.
The webcast. Thank you.
Yeah, because Shamar's going to be there, so that's probably the ink right there. It's okay, Shamar Moore will be there. Okay.
Well, I think before we jump into another soap, did we not have the submissions for the 4 shows for the reels that they submitted for Best Daytime Drama?
Yeah. I didn't see that up. Candice has them.
Yeah, I did. So basically, we all know the story is that because of last year's error, the National Arts of Television and Science is not going to release the reels to the public for us to see what our favorite actors and actresses submitted, which caused the uproar. But luckily, some people got a little clip, little something, and wrote it for us fans. So Central, had posted it out. So these are what the 4 shows submitted for Best Drama Series. The nominees are. I always wanted to say that. Okay. So from Bold and the Beautiful, the episodes aired March 5th and March 6th from 2018. The submission was, seemingly everyone in town has reason to want Bill Spencer dead. Bill asked Steffi to marry him, but Steffi refused. Rich becomes unhinged over Bill's latest moves on Steffi because he believed that he was sexually harassing that girl and decides to take matters in their own hands. Katie receives court papers indicating that Bill is suing her for full custody. And then on a dark night, someone slips in and shoots Bill. That's what Bold and Beautiful submitted. So it's pretty much all Don Diamont. Just saying. Days of Our Lives, oh, God, was April 16th, 2018, and June 19th. On these particular reels, it was Trapped in Her Own Troubled Mind. Abigail struggles between her 2 personas. The film-style episode follows Abigail as she and her alternate personality, Gabby, struggles for dominance. Confined within her unconsciousness, Abby encounters the long-dead Andre, who promised to unwind a surprise mystery that will help regain her control of herself. The Sliding Doors theme episode features Eli and Lainey as Lainey undergoes an emergency C-section to save their baby. Unconscious, Lainey fantasized the perfect life she could have with her newborn baby and her true love, JJ, the man she wanted to be the child's father. In reality, though, the family rally around them as Bonnie fights for her life and for the baby's life, too. That was Days of Our Lives. We'll talk about that in a minute. General Hospital. It's pretty much what everybody thought. Nathan's funeral, when Nathan died, and also episode 1 of the Nurse's Ball, in which Mike struggled with the words to his song because of his Alzheimer's, and Sonny, comes up and helps sing the song with him. So that's what's going on. Let me see what else. That was a long one. So,
YNR hasn't submitted yet.
And Young and the Restless, they have not submitted. The information hasn't been released yet, but it will be released later this week. My guess is Hillary's death.
I'm also thinking that they may submit like
a little bit
Days
of
of Our
JT.
Lives. They may break it up. I don't think they're going to go with a little bit of JT. I think they're going to go with the breakdown of the Abbott family and Tracy's moments and that whole episode, because there was Jack and Ashley, Tracy. I mean, that was just a phenomenal. I mean, a good runner-up also was Billy's intervention, but I think they're going to split it between Hillary's death and the breakdown of the Abbott family.
Yeah,
that's my personal prediction. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, those were 3 big stories. Who was Jack's daddy?
Right.
The whole Abbott, his family situation. JT and Hillary's death, and I think if they compile that like into sections, that might be their reel. Real quick, what does everybody think? I mean, besides Young and Restless, because we don't know for sure. But what do you guys think about what General Hospital, Days, and Bold and Beautiful submitted? Because people were talking.
Okay.
Well, I'll go first.
Days.
I don't think that Bold submitted their best material, quite honestly. It was one of the biggest storylines, but I don't think it was the best material that they had all year. So I'm a little confused and stymied by that. There were moments where Steffi was pleading with Liam that I think were much more emotionally gripping and were better storytelling. Honestly, that's my Days. I'm hard-pressed. Those were two incredibly powerful episodes, but in a year that Days just kept rocking it, how could you, how hard was it for them to narrow it down, So I think they did a good job. They were two great episodes. There were other things that I personally would have picked. No, actually, the Lonnie episode would have definitely been on there. The Abigail episode, I'm not entirely sure I would have picked that. There's something else I would have looked at. And General Hospital, you knew. You just knew those were going to be the moments. And as far as the Nurses Ball episode, absolutely. I mean, that was – I want to point something out. The secondary character acting in that episode was also phenomenal. Everyone's reaction, if you think back to it, not only Sonny himself, and I mean, Michael, I'm sorry, but Michael, you just rock.
Yeah.
You really do. You've hit all the beats on this. But the secondary reactions as well were flawlessly well done. David, what do you think?
Pretty much the same thing. General Hospital I don't think could have chosen any better. None that I can come up with right now. Bold I'm having a hard time with. I really saw. I didn't think they'd go with that one. I was thinking the whole thing when Hope lost her baby, but was that too late?
The beginning of the story wasn't, but yeah.
Yeah. It would have been worth it.
Okay, so that might be for next year.
Uh-huh.
That they could submit that for next year. Okay. Well, I thought maybe the Australia scenes, because they encompassed everybody too.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, maybe.
Am I in the right year?
You say, wait a minute.
The wedding.
Australia one. With Liam and Steffi. I think that was before.
That was last year.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, now I remember.
So I went too
far
far
ahead. The thing that bothers me about Bowles.
Far back.
The thing that bothers me about Bowles is I think Dawson was too over the top. It was too shaky and rattly of those two episodes. So it just wasn't their best work. I'm just surprised they picked that. There were so many moments between Bill and Steffi, and then Steffi and Liam that they could have chosen, especially since that's their wheelhouse. The triangle is what they're known for. I think they would have gotten a better look had they have submitted scenes more like that. Especially when Jacqueline McInnes Wood fell onto her knees, that whole episode was so good. It wasn't just her, but that was the central point, just like the Nurses Ball. That was the central point to an episode that was just outstanding.
Yeah.
And Carolyn, what do you think about the Days submissions?
I was surprised. I was expecting something else, but no, it was good. It was good.
See, Caroline, I know exactly what you're thinking too, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Days of Our Lives has been rocking it. That is the soap that everybody is tuning in because they retooled, refocused, rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
And, they've been, hot. They got a hot young couple. They got a great, they got super couples, from back in the 80s. When I saw what they submitted, the first thing I said was WTF. Because I'm thinking, all right, when you watched last year on Days of Our Lives, there was a certain storyline that was an umbrella storyline. And, yes, I'm talking about Jarlena's wedding. How did you not? I did. I don't get it. Like, this was an ensemble cast umbrella. You got Sonny, Paul, Will. You got Brady, Eric, Nicole. You got all these people, Sammy, John, Marlena. You got, I mean, it was
exactly.
everywhere.
Will's memory was coming back. Sammy comes running in with the only leaf-covered, mud stains, blood dripping down one side of the face. Crazy, what's her name, stands up and Susan was Kristen.
Right.
I mean, that gave so much soap. There was so much soap in one episode. How
and
could
Marlena got shot.
And Marlena got shot.
Don't forget shot. The first time. And you had great acting that showcased your vet. Like, Drake Hogerson, I'm sorry. If anything is said about this year's Emmys, it's the fact that that man should have been nominated. I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe if somebody just can knock me back in time, maybe I can find out why, but I don't know. I just thought Days was going to be, I mean, the 2 episodes in question, you know, it was interesting. They were interesting, but it wasn't, it didn't really have the, it did, you know what I'm saying? It didn't have the different storylines that was coming in and out.
Exactly.
And that's when you put,
didn't have the,
that's when you read
the boom boom.
Right. I mean, like, take a look at General Hospital. Like, okay, look, I know everybody has something to say about General Hospital, good and bad and in between. But there is one thing that I have to give them credit for, and this goes back to Wendy Rich, is that when you have ensemble storylines, such as the Nurses Ball, that showcase all your storylines and as well as your actors, that's your guarantee for best drama series. The Mike Oliver storyline was, I mean, come on now. When this story played out, I think a lot of us, I think I even said it, that's Maurice Bernard's Emmy reel. That's Max Gale's Emmy reel. Dominic Rivera's Emmy reel. Like, you can tell. And, of course, Nathan is spiritual. Look, General Hospital doesn't do a lot. But when it comes down to stuff like this, when it's an emotional storyline that showcases the families, as well as the main character who has a legacy on General Hospital, like Maxie Jones, then you pay attention. They might not do it all the time, but when they do
they
what
get
Days serious.
Is about. That's what Days is about. I mean, I think they missed the whole beat on that.
Bold and Beautiful. I mean, here's the reality. Sadly, there was nothing else that happened in 2018 but Bill and Steffi. That's the reality. So now Jacqueline did submit that scene when she fell. Jacqueline did submit that for lead actor. But I agree. I mean, even though it's the talk of the show, Liam and Steffi, Bill, Hope, whoever you want to put it in, it's just...
You know, okay, so I'm gonna be the one to say it because, you know,
they need more stories.
I don't have to be as politically correct as I want to be some of the time. They should have submitted the scenes where Liam found out, and then with Steffi and Bill the second time in the cottage, where he, you know, asks her and she tells him, "You did not," you know, but stay away from me. Those they should have split.
That's actually
based upon the story.
Right.
Based upon the story that they told for most of the year, those should have been the episodes that they submitted.
I'm going to tell you, that's Jacqueline's reel.
Absolutely.
Hers was during a heated exchange with Liam. Steffi reveals that she slept with his father, Bill. Steffi recounts how she got to the point where she slept with Bill and begged Liam to forgive her. Steffi, because she picked, let me say, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3. Because it's a half an hour show, they get to submit a little bit more.
They get to before. Yeah.
Yeah. So she submitted, let me say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes. And her reel was like under 14 minutes. So, okay, so we got Steffi gives birth to a baby girl. Liam takes off his wedding ring and presents Steffi with annulment papers. Steffi visits Bill and rages over catching Liam and Hope together. A calm and composed Steffi tells Liam that she is done chasing after him and putting her daughter first, honey. That was a good thing. Now, that is a good reel. say what you again.
We
like
do
I said,
have to go on. We do have to recap, so we don't have much time.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, let's move on to Dave. Carolyn.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Jump on, baby. What do you got to say?
Hot in the afternoon. Oh my goodness. We got Gabby and Stefan. We got Sierra and Dan. The shirts are coming off.
Lord have mercy.
So, Carolyn, my question for you is, what do you think of Brandon Barash now?
No, I wish the scenes had been with Tyler Christopher, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But
I will definitely say,
I guess you guys like Brandon, do you? No.
I think he's picking up steam.
I would have preferred the scenes with Tyler. I definitely enjoyed to the hilt the scenes with Brandon. So I'm not disappointed, but I would have enjoyed them better with Tyler. I would like to just remind.
I was fantasizing about Tyler.
Wow, she went to the fantasize part.
Go, girl. I would like to remind our listeners that Brandon Barash was thrown 3 days worth of dialogue and literally walked out overnight. Literally walked on the set overnight. So, you know. I know.
It's been hard. It's been hard.
The scenes that we saw this week versus his first week are definitely a strong improvement. And let me just finish that reminder with not only, was he thrown days and days worth of dialogue in an overnight, but also he was working with Camille Vanis and Nadia, who are two very, very expressive, distinct, hard personalities to be the first that you cut your teeth with. Having said all that, I still did just like Carolyn. Tyler's face came across my brain when I heard some kissy sucky hands.
Why did they have these scenes when he was there? I mean, okay.
That's one of the things. I mean, here's the thing. This is one of those things where you just wish the writers would have took this storyline and pushed it forward, so that way we could have Tyler doing this. But because they kept stuff on, in the whole Chabby storyline, it was like, come on now, like break him away from it. And I enjoy the fact that we got the start with Tyler, we got the flirtation with Tyler and Camilla, and now we're getting this. And I think Brandon, to be honest, I love him, but he's playing himself. Like, that's his personality. If anybody sees him, or met him, he's that kind of, he has that thing where he's really, I'm going to flirt on the show with him. Okay. He's really cute, and he has such a great personality, and that's coming across on the show. That's what I'm feeling, and I love these two together because they're messy, and I need a messy couple instead of the I love you every time. Every time I see you, I want to just look, just the wind.
I love the storyline. And then the next time, Gabby, he just might bring it home, and Gabby might get pregnant.
Okay,
that would be interesting.
This is a recap show, so I do have to go back 2 weeks because we haven't gotten a chance to say, oh my God, Miss Claire, everything bad I ever said about you, I take back. Oh my God. Okay. Bold and beautiful. Please pay attention. What you could have had with Ashlyn Pierce, Dave Butler stole and is giving us with what is her name in real life, Candice? Please tell me. I forget now.
Olivia Rose Keegan.
Olivia Rose Keegan. Anything negative I have said about you on the 3 years you have been on this show, I will eat a shoe. Come on our show, and I will eat a shoe. I'll pour marinara all over it and eat it. Because, girlfriend, you are on fire. On fire. I am loving every moment she is on the screen, and I am mourning the fact that she will not be on my screen for much longer. Wow, did she really step up to the plate? Talk about a slow burn crazy, the kind of crazy we haven't seen in a hot minute. Because the soaps are all about boom, 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 bring the story, conclude the story, drop the story, or carry it out for like 3.5 years, and that's so long that we forget what the story was about. The slow burn of this story was just perfect, and now that the dam has been broken, wow. Okay, I'm done. Anybody else?
I can't agree with you anymore.
Good.
She's a powerhouse.
Well, I guess I don't care as long as they get it. They're hotting it up on daytime television, so it's about time. It's just, and I hope they're going to keep it up. And then we got Sierra and Ben.
Okay, one thing I do have to say, the whole breakdown of Rafe and Hope, I don't feel it's believable.
No. Oh, jeez. No. Well, you guys love Ted, but now he brought. Did you see it today?
I did not see today's.
She's asked him, what are you keeping from me? And then he brings out a jewelry box and he's giving her a nice piece of jewelry. I mean, it's just not real. It's just not real. Where's Ray?
He's not real.
He's been
I want to know, how does a Frenchman get involved with a Hispanic cartel?
Anything is possible in Salem. Duh. Haven't we learned that? You could be a man.
I can't, no, because I don't it's kind of hard to believe that part.
I'm sorry, David, but how many times has Marlena been killed and come back? Not killed, but how many times has she been on the brink up? How many times has the Phoenix re-risen? How many different versions of Kristen have we had? God, I mean, a French man in a Spanish cartel is...
Yeah.
Right. We had Possession by the Devil. We had her floating in the worst special effects. I've Buried Alive with Vivian and Carly. This one is not that. We had Teresa off in the Mexican cartel. She was supposed to be the happy hooker. No, this one's not that hard to believe. But I think time-wise, we need to skip on over to Port Charles. We'll save Bold and the Beautiful, the worst for the last. No, not the worst. They're actually doing pretty well. But Port Charles, thoughts, anyone? Let's go with David first because we've been keeping him last all night long. David, Port Charles thoughts.
Well, my thoughts? Well, I have to say I may be in the minority, but I like it that they brought back some love in the afternoon with Chase and Willow.
Mm-hmm.
He
could chase me all around the Willow.
Yep. That was very sweet. It was open and honest relationship, and they took their time with it.
And the fact that they had Michael walk in the next morning was classic soap. It was perfect. That was, absolutely wonderful. What else, David?
I like all three actors in there. My thing is, I like Michael and Chase's relationship. I don't want that tested very much with her. It doesn't look like he's in that picture yet, but they make all great friends together. It sort of reminds me of Mac and Felicia and Kevin and Lucy. If Michael brought Sasha into the mix with her, they could be, or is it Lucky and Elizabeth and Emily and
Nicholas and Emily?
Nicholas.
Yeah.
That's I can see them trying to build some semblance of that.
Anything else? tickling your fancy or disturbing you?
Well, how about we tickle Candice's fancy and bring up the Nina recast?
You must have been reading my mind. I'm sitting over here biting my tongue like, get to me. So I know people didn't really.
Candice and I are both Guiding Light fans, so.
This was a pleasant surprise. This was a pleasant surprise. I know people didn't think they were going to recast the role of Nina, but they are. And we didn't think about this person, but the new Nina to debut in May or June is Emmy Award winner, daytime icon, Cynthia Watro as the new Nina Reeves. Yes. And some people remember her as Kelly on Young and the Restless, but most of us know her as Annie freaking Dutton from Guiding Light. Yes! Yes! Okay. Thank you. Praise yourself, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Mark Taxner.
Okay, now, Candice, I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that with the recast, they're going to make Willow Nina's daughter, or do you think they changed their mind? Or is that, do you think it was already in the money, or do you think it's not going there at all now?
Okay, so first and foremost, when you have a recast with a talented Emmy Award winner like Cynthia Watro, you need to re-scrap the storyline. Like, you need to scrap whatever storyline you were going to have and change it up, because this is about to get good, especially with
It's about to get real good. Yes.
Real good, right. And I think most of us are kind of doubting. I think most of the fans are kind of doubting GH because, I mean, you take a look at what's currently on screen and you have these talented actors, but nonetheless, I do think they're going to probably rewrite the daughter storyline. They might say Willow. They might keep Sergeant. They might actually just say the daughter wasn't even around. It could be a boy. It could be a son.
Now. My gut tells me no. My gut tells me no. And Cynthia with Chloe, come on.
No. You know who I want? See, this is where the writers need to take Nina out of the orbit that she's been in with Valentine and everything, because I really kind of want a Lulu Valentine Nina to get back to Nina's cray-cray, especially since you got Cynthia playing this role. But I want to see her mix and mingle with, like, Sunny and Carly. Lord knows if I see her and Laura writing the scene together, it's going to be all feelings. Guiding Light fans, you understand me. You feel me on that. But I hope I really want them to kind of redo her whole story arc now. Because no offense to Michelle, love Michelle, gonna miss you, girl. But I think they lost sight of what the character's story was supposed to be, every which way. Now that they have, a fresh start, that's what I want. I want Nina to not have to be duped.
Well,
I would love for them to dupe that.
Here's what they really should do. The reveal for Willow not being her daughter should be on Michelle Stafford's last episodes. And we should not see the character for about 2 weeks. And then when it comes back, she should be completely the way she was when she found out Silas.
Disheveled.
Disheveled, about to rip a baby out someone's stomach, cray-cray. Yeah, that's how they should bring, because Cynthia, and here's the sad thing, y'all all know General Hospital, there's no one like to live, so General Hospital is my number one spot, but they do not know how to bring on a powerhouse actor the way, let's say, Days of Our Lives and The Young and the Restless do. They do not know how to write stunning, bring-ons. And that's my big fear, that she's just going to whittle off crying for a week or two. She's going to have a couple of scenes with Liesl and a couple of scenes with Maxie and a couple of scenes with Lulu. and it's going to fizzle before it even happens. They need to bring her on strong.
Isn't that considered taste testing?
Well,
to see how they go.
Yeah, but you don't do that with a Cynthia. You shouldn't have done that with a Billy Miller. If General Hospital hasn't learned from past mistakes, then they get what they deserve. I hope they have learned because, the last couple of powerhouse people they brought on, the last good powerhouse they brought on, quite frankly, was Nina herself. We saw her in a bed. She disappeared for a couple of weeks, and then when she came back, it was all when she fully came on the canvas. It was cray from day 1.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last great powerhouse they brought on. Even Maura West,
that was Ron.
genius
Ron
as she is. Yeah, even Maura West, as genius as she is, they introduced her slowly and in a very boring storyline in the beginning. It's only because Maura is as good as she is that we took to her in the first place.
Yeah.
Maura West could read a can of soup, and I would be intrigued.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Okay, so just looking at what's on the actual canvas right now, quick thoughts on Laura, Felicia, loving that, Felicia Mack, loving all of that together. Quick thoughts on, Dawn of the Day. Anybody?
I am enjoying that part of the story, of the Dawn of Day. I was waiting for Willow to help Christina, but they didn't show that yet. I don't know if she is going to. It's interesting. There's talk around some of the groups that I see that they think Neil Byrne could be Willow's father, Harmony's ex.
That could be interesting. There's also talk that Sam is going to slip and actually start to fall under the spell.
Yeah.
Anybody Anybody have any ideas on that?
Yeah. Well, there's a picture showing that she attends the nurse's ball with him. Am I right?
Well,
I heard
that out there.
Okay, so I'm just going to, because we're under a time constraint, so I'm just going to throw this out very quickly. Kudos that they brought Bobby on to deal with Carly. Kudos to everything that they're doing with Oscar. I mean, everybody could say that they wanted it this way, they wanted it that way, but you know what? They're doing a pretty damn good job with it. We all knew, we all called it, he's going to drop dead at the nurse's ball. God forgive me for being so blasé about it. I don't mean it that way, but we are on a time constraint. Kudos. They need to find a way to keep Shiloh past the Dawn of Day deadline, let's call it. When Dawn of Day destructs, they need to find a way to keep him on canvas because he is dynamic. He has chemistry with so many people, and even if he's still bad, just if Sonny can get away with murder and Ava can get away with murder, he can get away with all the things he's getting away with. Anna spiraling off. I love the dynamic between her and Robert, but there was absolutely no reason for this storyline whatsoever. Not loving it at all, but at least it gives Robert and Anna some screen time together. And Jeannie, Laura, Ava, Kevin, we all know that is going to be a hot mess. I look forward to every moment of that. Anything else? General Hospital. Go ahead, take it, Candice.
I'm enjoying General Hospital, Ava and Curtis. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay, yes.
I mean, come at me, GH. Come through for me, please.
Give us the swirl, baby. Give us the swirl.
I mean, here's the thing. I know Curtis is married to Jordan. By the way, her kidney's supposed to fail, right? Okay. So, but, I mean, oh, God, Donnell Turner and Mara West are going to give me life if they go with this. If they go with a little seduction, Bodyguard, Whitney Houston, but give me Ava and Curtis. Ava, hashtag Ava. Okay. That's my only thing. Feel for the children. Feel for Oscar Quartermain now.
Yep.
Miss him.
My question remaining, do you think that the line's going to be crossed between Ava and Kevin?
You mean Ava and Ryan?
Regardless, Laura's mourning.
Okay, truth be told, I'm over the storyline now. I was, and y'all know that when this story started, I was like all for it. I was like, where's Felicia? Where's Matt? Because these people should have been in the beginning part of the story and not towards the end. It is what it is, and sadly, I mean, John Lindstrom's still carrying the story. Like, he's given us life with this, but sadly, the storyline, in my opinion, has phased out. It's kind of fizzled. I just want Ava and Curtis. That's the only thing that will come from the storyline is Ava and Curtis. Amen. Hallelujah. Yeah. So
we pause for a moment of silence.
Pause for a moment of silence because just think about all the hotness of that couple to be, Ava and Curtis. Yes. Amen. So that was it for GH, right? Anybody else have any thoughts before we head over to the bold and the beautiful?
No, I have. I think I covered what I needed to.
All right, so let's get to the sloppy. Bold and beautiful. So there's so many ways to go with this, but I'm just going to start it off with this. What the heck did they do to Thomas?
Yeah, that was my question.
Okay, so he's psychotic. He's a little deranged. Okay, the apple doesn't fall from the tree.
And he hasn't had any.
Ain't my problem. Neither did Chase or Michael or Kyle or Ben. For crying out loud, nobody had any for a year almost. Well, Ben is the exception because he was a serial killer, but you know he's cleared now. But no, I mean, so you mean to tell me that Thomas has had this quote unquote obsession with Hope since 2009, 2007 or something, and he's been carrying it in his heart, and now he is going to try to get Hope back? What? And he's using Douglas?
I don't even remember it.
I don't remember Thomas and Hope being a great love story either. I mean...
Well, I guess she wasn't interested in him at the time, I thought. But, I mean, it didn't go anywhere. But he had something for her. But I don't remember.
I mean, I remember that it was a blink your eyes for a minute. They were together, blink your eyes, they were done. But I don't remember it being... I mean, Thomas has had quite a few ladies, and Hope has had quite a few gentlemen. So I don't understand where all this is coming from. And then you're going to try to you're sabotaging Hope and Liam for your benefits. And not only that, but you're using Douglas. Like, you drew a picture and told Hope that Douglas drew it. Are you serious? Like, come on now. You have lost it. You are officially... Thomas is Taylor's son, y'all. Mm-hmm. Yep, it happened. I don't understand. I don't understand this mess. Because now it's making me question, did he have something to do with Caroline's health? Mm-hmm. I know, Lifetime movie fan in me is like, Like, did we lose Anthony? I think we lost Anthony.
Anthony? Let me check.
I think we lost him. Okay. Listeners, I mean, if you're listening to the show, what is your take about Thomas going cuckoo for Cocoa Puff? Out the norm, right?
Oh, wait. That's right. Okay. He can't. Let me get Anthony back here. He's here, but... Anthony.
Okay.
Let me just say this. What kind of water are they serving to Taylor and Thomas? And does Queen's taking a little sip of that too? Because cray-cray. cray. I just heard everything you said, and I 100% agree. There is something in the water because these two people are not the characters that we know. I remember that little brief affair between Hope and Thomas, and that was nothing. There was no eternal. This was not the Bengals singing "An Eternal Flame." Close your eyes. No. This is just the Bold and the Beautiful setting up another triangle that we just, we're going to be forced. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it. We're going to be forced to watch, and it is sad. It is very sad. Stephanie needs to come back and slap some sense into her mother, her brother, her father, and you know what? Just for the hell of it, slap a little reality into Hope. Quite honestly, she just needs to slap across the canvas. One big slap, getting all their faces at once.
And then she needs to slap herself too, because I don't want. I
is Pam making lemon balls again?
Huh?
Honestly, somebody tell me, is Pam making lemon balls again? Because maybe they're all eating some kind of cuckoo crazy up in a lemon ball.
They're eating Alice's donuts from Salem. I'm just saying. I just don't. I don't get why. I mean, there's times when, like, when they bring a character on, I get excited. Like, I'm like, oh my God, Thomas is coming back. Okay, finally somebody with some dignity. But when they pulled this, I'm like, really? Like, okay, all right. Okay, you pulling the okay. Well, he's kind of been around the Forster, so maybe all that cray rubbed off on him now. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the question that I think everybody's been waiting to be asked. How are we judging Denise? Are we liking, loving
Denise Richard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go first, David, because I'll be the sweet one. I'll be the nice one. Not really. I like Denise Richard coming on to Bold and Beautiful and acting like a boss. I do like her presence on the show. However, her character reminds me of Tanya.
Thank you.
Just an upgraded version of Tanya. Like, Flo reminds me of Amber. So stick to that.
Did I not call this a couple of weeks ago? I'm sorry. I'm not doing the I told you so dance or anything, but yeah.
Yeah, I
David?
think we all kind of said that, but now we're seeing it play out.
I have to say, they pulled a Heather Locklear with her. They brought her on as the diva that's gonna rewrite Bowles. Honestly, and it's not working. It's a good, strong, actress, but it's not working in the storylines they're telling. If that makes sense.
Do you think they're going to pair? They're going to I love how you said that, like the diva, like the guest starring role, like Heather Locklear would do on Meryl's Place. Because you do look at Bold and Beautiful, and you got Catherine Kelly Lang and you got Heather Thomas. To me, those are the true divas of the show, and Jacqueline. So with Denise, I do want to see if they're going to have a Shauna versus Brooke, a Shauna versus Katie, I want to see how she goes toe to toe with the divas of Bold and Beautiful. Like, this is going to be the Real Housewives of Bold and Beautiful, right? Ooh, Red Bell, I gave y'all an idea for a special.
Okay, so I'm going to go with, I would like to see her go after Eric, honestly. I'd like to see her put up against Quinn. I'd like to see how Brooke handles her best friend / father-in-law / ex-husband / all the things that they are to each other. Her and Brooke going toe-to-toe in that direction. Quinn, cray-cray coming out because, someone is trying to take her man and someone is messing with her son's life. I mean, honestly, to elevate Rena Sofer to where she needs to be, an actress like Denise Williams is perfect. Perfect. That's where I would like to see it go. If not Eric, then Bill. Because it would also bring in Brooke. It would bring in Katie. It would bring in Quinn in a lesser extent. But, yeah, one of those two men, but my vote is for Eric. I'd like to see her go after Eric.
Okay. What about Justin?
Not enough base on the canvas for that. I'd love to see that pairing if they were about to take over Bill's empire and try to screw him In any other storyline, no, there's not enough base for that. Now, I have to say, I am mourning already Wyatt and Sally. You know, they brought her back. She is an excellent actress, and they are not giving that character the just deserves that she deserves as an actress and as a character. And I am mourning that relationship because I honestly wanted Katie and Wyatt to work. I loved the flirty, I loved the role play, I loved everything they brought out in each other, but I accepted and then began to fall in love with Wyatt and Sally. And now it's over. For all intents and purposes, it's over. I will say, though, the scenes between Sally and Quinn were awesome.
Yeah, they were. Quinn needs to go check herself.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. We need that on this. We need that on the canvas.
We need that. Yeah. I'm just poo-pooing her indignity because she's no one to judge.
But she's Quinn. Of course she's going to judge.
Yeah.
That's the character. You know, I mean, you know, she's not Sheila. I don't think she's drinking or eating the lemon bars. She's not drinking the water or eating the lemon bars. You know. Well, actually she is, but not to the extent that Thomas and Mama who. Because I don't know. She ain't Mama Dearest and she ain't Mama. She's Mama who. Who is this woman? This is not the Taylor that I know.
I know. Guys, before we end, I do want to make a heartfelt message to all of you. Here it is. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching YNR and Christoph's send-off and being able to discuss it in a very professional manner.
Well, thank you. You know, I think I cried my tears watching it. I came to the show tonight wanting to congratulate, wanting to celebrate Christoph, and wanting to congratulate Young and the Restless for being the show that I once remembered. I also just want to quickly remind everybody to go check out Nathin Butler on social media and to check out his film. And we'll be here in 2 weeks.
We'll be here in 2 weeks.
After the Emmys. Ooh.
And girl, will that be a show? That will be fire.
Yeah, good luck to all the nominees. And good luck to our soap fans.
I just have one thing to say. Lori Captain Jerome, you wake up right now.
All I got to say is, how come they ain't on TV? That's all I got to say.
I know, it's sad.
All right, everybody. Have a safe and happy beginning of the summer, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Yep, we'll see you soon. See you in 2 weeks. Thanks.
Have a great weekend, everyone.